Hi, this is Rick Eymer, sports editor for the Palo Alto Weekly. We're here with Alistair Shaw. He's our athlete of the week this week. He's a junior from Menlo School. He scored 3 goals against Harker earlier in the week, and then he came back and played defense for most of the game against Sacred Heart Prep in a 1-0 game. And the reason that they needed him on defense is because Menlo was down a player through most of the second half, and that's when they scored. So it was a pretty interesting game, and I guess, Alistair, why don't we just start there and talk about playing the first half up front and second half in defense?
Yeah, so that's been kind of a recurring theme throughout the season, and it's usually when we start the game, I'm up front, and then if we end up getting a comfortable lead, I'll transition back into playing a more defensive role to finish the game out. Clearly, it was a little different in the Sacred Heart game because we were down a man. And I think it was definitely a smart decision by the coach as soon as we were down a man to drop and play more of a defensive game, and it paid off in the end. We got a goal in the last 5 minutes, I think, and we ended up holding out the 1-0 lead, so it was a good game.
Yeah, it was probably the one mistake made by either team was the goal, which is sometimes that's what it takes. But just talk a little bit about your team in general and how they're doing this year. They're undefeated so far through league play. And what do you see there, and maybe even some of your other the guys that really chip in?
Well, it's been a really great season actually so far. I think everyone at the beginning of the season we decided on team goals, and everyone wanted to win league and everyone wanted to go and win CCS. I think we've really channeled that into the league play, into how we practice. We train really hard, we work hard, and it's paid off so far. I mean, Sacred Heart, we knew going into the game it was a huge game, but I think everyone stepped up and played their heart out, and that was a big factor in us coming out with a 1-0 lead. Yeah.
Yeah. No. And aside from sports, of course, you also do your academics, and understand that you were in Italy for a year. Kind of talk about that experience and maybe what you did besides the classroom.
Yeah, so Italy was a great experience. We went through an American program, and I stayed with the host family there. And I think a big part was traveling. Actually, we were allowed to go out and independent travel with friends you met through the program, and so just being independent, being able to travel with a group of like 3 or 4 kids, all like 16, 17 years old, it was really life-changing, and I think I've grown as a person from that experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know we talked a little bit about maybe not being so fluent in Italian because you weren't able to use it, and you're trying to learn Spanish as well now, so that's a pretty heavy load. But so let's get back to soccer a little bit, so that's even better. But I know Nolan has been pretty good in the goal, and just talk about your defense a little bit.
Nolan's been tremendous. I mean, it all starts from the back. It starts from the goalie. He's become very vocal, which you need as a goalkeeper because you're the only player who can see the whole field. You can see what is in front of you. And I think the back line, actually, we have our two outside backs are underclassmen, Max Kolowick and Andreas Simbeck, and they've really stepped up this year because they're not as big as the other guys, and they're facing off against like 6'2" guys, and they've really been able to hold their own. Especially Andreas in the Sacred Heart game, he was playing against one of Sacred Heart's top offensive players, Peter Love, and he did a tremendous job of holding his own against this giant of a player. And there's also David Casada, the center back, and Charlie, the other center back, and just a very strong back line. They communicate well, they know what needs to be done, and they get it done.
Yeah, soccer for reals is a national team sport.
Yeah.
You're out of position, and somebody's going to get mad at you probably. So anyway, that's Alistair Shaw. He's our athlete of the week this week, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.